this tutorial, we're going to discuss everything about lye and lye safety, what you need to know as a soap maker on how to handle this dangerous substance. Just want you to know that there are safety precautions to do, and you'll be able to handle this, and the more and more you do it, the easier it will be. There's going to be precautions. You need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to pay attention to what you're doing and have the right safety gear. You will come out fine with your class. That's the same thing with dealing with lye. So what you're going to have always, you're going to gear up when you're handling lye, and that's with the dry powder, when you're pouring the lye into water, when you're mixing up your soap, when you're handling the soap, all of that. You need to have your safety gear on. And that will include gloves, and you may choose to use gloves that are a little bit longer, long shirt and sleeves, pants, and shoes. There are some different trains of thought on whether you should be wearing a sleeve or not. So I'll tell you where that goes, the pros and cons of that. If you get some lye powder on you with no additional water, it's probably going to bounce off like it would like a little piece of salt or sugar. But if it stays on you, you won't feel it unless there's the addition of water, which would be perspiration. You'll find a little bit of discomfort. If, however, you were to get lye water on you, that is very potent, and you need to wash that off right away. You will feel that. If you got the lye water on your sleeve, that's probably going to soak right through your sleeve and get right down to the skin. I know you have to rinse that off, but you're probably going to have to take that item of clothing off. We really want to get to the skin and rinse that off as soon as possible with clear water for 15 minutes minimum. If you don't have a long sleeve on, you get the lye water on you, you can go to the sink and wash off immediately. So those are kind of the pros and cons to having long sleeves or no sleeves. We're going to have our gloves, and we have safety goggles. So these ones, as you can see, they go right to the skin. They are not glasses. These ones are goggles. If you have glasses that you need to wear, prescription glasses, these will go right over. And you should be able to find pairs of goggles that are vented. They can be vented in different ways so that you're not fogging up your goggles while you're working. You need to wear your safety goggles in case you kind of get any kind of lye or lye water into your eyes. It can blind you. So if you do happen to get any in your eyes, like we discussed, if you get it on your skin, you're going to be rinsing with water for 15 minutes or so. If you have a lot of discomfort on your skin, you should call 911 or go to emergency, and they can deal with it there. If you get lye water in your eyes, you need to immediately wash with clean water. Call 911. Okay, keep rinsing with the water, call 911, and they will guide you. Very important. Okay, so now that we know that lye is very dangerous, it is caustic. So that means it'll irritate our skin, it'll harm our skin. It is a very strong alkali. If you remember from chemistry class, we had our acids, we had our alkalis, and they're on the pH scale. So acids are on the low side, alkalis are on the high side. Somewhere in the middle, about 7, it's not quite exactly that, is the pH of our skin. These are so far away in pH from our skin. This is the reason why they are caustic and they will harm or irritate our skin. So we want to neutralize that. We do with water. Some people used to, in the old days, they used to say if you were to neutralize it with a strong acid against a strong alkaline, those would neutralize. Well, kind of makes sense. It's that they discovered that that caused a lot of extra heat, which was also harming you. So just rinse off with plain water. Those you can use with lye and lye water. Let's start with your water. So you're going to be using distilled water. Of course, the distilled water will go into a PYREX, but if you happen to do your lye water in PYREX, there's been lots of cases known to happen where the PYREX is, there's a defect in the glass, and eventually that could lead to this shattering because your lye water gets very, very hot. In a matter of seconds, it'll get past 190 degrees Fahrenheit once you start mixing the lye crystals with your water. So if there's a defect in your glass, that could shatter. If you do choose to use PYREX, do this in the kitchen sink so that if it does break, all your lye water is going down the sink, no harm done. Also, if you're using one PYREX over the course of time, your lye water might etch this glass and also cause it to fail. You can do no damage in stainless steel. I do all of my water and then my lye crystals into stainless steel. That is perfectly fine. I put my lye crystals into plastic, so PET plastic, HDPE plastic, anything with the numbers 2 and 5 and 3, I think. Anyways, this is like an old yogurt container that you can use, and these are fine. This is melamine, so you can do your lye water in here. It's what I actually mix my soap batter in, so there is active lye happening in the beginning, and that's my soap bowl. Silicone, your utensils, stainless steel again, a whisk will work. Silicone, little silicone spoon, wood. You can definitely use wood, but eventually it will disintegrate and you might find little wood slivers in your soap. So initially it might be good for 1 or 2 times, but you might want to stick with something like this. Are the materials that you can use for anything touching lye. What you absolutely don't want to use is anything with aluminum or copper. So we know from other videos that you don't want to mix up your soaping equipment with your kitchen or your food preparation equipment, because the taste from fragrances and things like that, from just the taste of soap, can transfer into those utensils, and you don't want to be tasting that in your dinner. So good idea to separate those two, because we use pretty much the same kind of equipment for making our dinner as we do for making our soap. So separate them, and don't get out your old aluminum pot because you're not using it anymore. It was in that garage sale. No aluminum, no copper in soap making. That will cause very noxious or toxic fumes, and of course that is dangerous for you. So great. So if you have any questions, you can post them below and I'll get back to you. And I want to thank you for joining me in this video. We'll see you in soap making. Bye-bye.